So, hello, good night, everyone. So, welcome to our Thursday's lecture, public lecture, here at the Chico Xavier Learning Center in Portland. So every first Thursday of each month, we have our public lecture in English. So, and then we study the book from Chico Xavier called Living Spring. And today we are going to study together the chapter 35, Let Us Spread the Good. Before we initiate our reflection, study, just to remind everyone, especially the ones watching us online, who we are. We are Chico Xavier Learning Center in Portland. And if you go to our website, to our social media channels, you will find our weekly program and calendar. And here we are in our tranquil Thursday. So welcome, and feel free to go to our site, explore a little bit everything we have there. We are a group of volunteers that work together to spread the Spiritism here in Portland, and also to support the ones who need it. And then we welcome donations and contributions so that we can keep the hard work and keep on spreading Jesus and messages and the Spiritism's message. And now let's prepare ourselves to receive and a little bit of blessing as we start our study of the day. Let's close our eyes. Let's breathe. Let's bring our bodies, our body, our mind to the present moment. Let's breathe in and out a couple of times. Slowly in and out. Elevating our thoughts to God. Connecting with the universe around us. Connecting our heart with Jesus. With all the good spirits that are here with us, either at the learning center or in our homes. As we learn with Jesus, we know that every time that more than two people are together to pray on His name, He will be with us. So rest assured that Jesus and His spiritual friends are with us. And let's thank the universe that gives us this opportunity to know the Spiritism, to study, to live, and to experience Jesus' teachings in a way that it's easy, comprehensive, for all of us. Shower everything that we learned today and hear today, touch our heart, touch our souls. Directing our behavior as we evolve and grow in our journey in this life. May it be. Amen. So today, as I mentioned, we are going to study chapter 35. Let's spread the good, as the title. And as we know that this series and the book, it's a book that it's written by Chico Xavier, but supported by the spirit in Emmanuel, right? So we usually say that Emmanuel brings the message for the ones that are understanding now the way that those books and these messages they are transmitted to us. So Emmanuel starts the chapter with the verse that is chapter 12, verse 21, where from Paul, Paul to the Romans, right? Where Paul writes to the Romans, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Okay? So a little bit of context here, a little bit of what is the moment and then why Paul writes this phrase to the Romans. The Romans, it was the Christian community, right? That Paul was exchanging his letters, and he was time to time visiting. And these communities, they were people living under the I would say the perimeter of the Roman Empire, right? So they were Romans, but they were converted already into the Christianism. Okay, so and in this letter in specific, especially in this chapter, Paul is trying to persuade the Romans, the Christians in that group of people, that they should center their lives around the law, the God's law, and Jesus' teachings, versus being influenced by the political and the Roman ideology, right? Because imagine, they were a group of Christians living and being governed by the Romans, that we know that they were not Christian, right? They did not, we know that they believe in different gods. So there was always that tension, right? I am Roman, I belong to this group of people and to this territory, but I'm trying to follow Jesus' teachings. And Paul, as we know, was the apostle, of the disciple that went and spread the word. So it's a long chapter, and this is the last sentence of the chapter, the verse 21, the verse 21. And in this, the whole chapter, Paul tried to really try to help them to more and more get away from the evil, right? and become closer to God. And by that, to overcome the evil, they should be doing the good, even for the ones that would harm them. So this is a little bit of the context of the whole chapter. So the chapter is about living this in sacrifice, according to the teachings of Jesus, serve and love, right? So that's why he finishes with this, when he's talking about how to love one another, he finishes with this verse that is, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. And then Emmanuel, from one sentence, one verse, Emmanuel writes a chapter, as we know. And then Emmanuel, he starts by saying, observe that amid in the house of nature, before the evil, all the elements offer all their best. They thrive so that it's possible to find perfect harmony in nature and reach the victory of the good. When the storm seems to have destroyed all the landscape, divine forces of life gather in a work to return the previous state. Okay? So what he says that even in the house of nature, in the nature, right? Even when the evil, and I'm putting evil between somehow brackets because we will talk more about that. Even when the evil hits, right, something bad happens, the forces of nature, they work for the victory, right? And then he gives the example. When the storm seems to have destroyed the landscape, what happens, right? The sun sends light over the mire, healing the shores of the ground. The wind caresses the grove and dries its branches. The song of the birds replaces the voice of the thunder. The plain receives the flood without revolting and converts it into an efficient fertilizer. The air that supports the weight of the clouds and the shock of the destroying spark returns to lightness and softness. The tree of broken and injured fronds regenerates in silence to produce new flowers and fruits. The earth, our common mother, suffers periodically. The rain of sleet and the iodine bath, yet it does not fail to widen the good increasing. Right? So Emmanuel explained that even after storm that brings destruction, unbalance, chaos, right? The forces of nature, they gather to its victory, right? And they gather to restore the nature. And then we can see these, everywhere, right? If we think about the big catastrophe happening in the world, when a tsunami comes, right? It comes, it destroys, but somehow the natures redo it, right? It regenerates, right? Here in Portland, a couple of weeks ago, We have a very tough winter storm, right? Couple of days later, right? Things started to get into normalcy. So that is the reflection that Emmanuel invites us. Let's mirror our lives on nature, right? Let's look at nature and let's learn with nature. So this would be the first part of the chapter. And then he continues, why do we humans, right, human beings, why do we keep the Bible and the soreness of evil in the intimacy of our hearts? So why do we suffer, right? The Bible is the anger, right? And the soreness, why do we keep on suffering? So this is the reflection. In moments of hardship, right? We are angry, we want revenge, we feel hatred, we feel pain, and sometimes prevents us moving, right? Of course, the nature also suffers when the storm comes, right? But it seems that the nature recovers faster than us, human beings, right? And then he invites us, let's learn to receive the visit of adversity, educating its energies in favor of life. Ignorance is just a long night that will give away the sun of wisdom. Use the treasure of your love in all directions and extend the good in every part. When touched by the mud, the fountain never gives up. It welcomes the debris and its bosom. And by continuing to flow, it transforms them into blessings in the course of its waters, which keep running with mildness and humility for the benefit of all. Okay, so super, it's beautiful, right? So inviting us to reflect about something that's so close to us, that's so part of our lives, but sometimes we forget. That is the cycles of nature. Okay? They were here, nature was here before us, right? So let's learn a little bit with it. I would like a couple of studies, I mean, in lectures ago, we talk about the law of destruction, right? So as part of, we know that as part of the 10 moral laws, right? The destruction, although we think it's evil, right? It's part of God's law. So it's part of humanity, it's part of us being here. And then in the spirits book, Kardec asks the spirits, and in the question 728, is destruction a law of nature? Right? And then the spirits, they confirm everything must be destroyed so that it might be renewed. What you call destruction, it's only a transformation to renew and improve living beings. Right? So if we go back to the storm, right? So the storm is not evil, right? The storm comes to renew, right? The tsunami, even though for us humans is a tragedy, it has its purpose through the laws of the nature, through the laws of God. So let's keep this reflection of that sometimes the bad that happens to us, it doesn't come to destroy, it comes to transform, right? It's an invitation to transformation. And that the destruction between as a transformation is part of living. Okay? And then we can want to focus in this sentence, which we already read, right? We're just reinforcing the message. Observe that amid the house of the nature, before the evil, between brackets, all the elements offer all their best, right? So once the destruction happens, once the transformation happens, all the elements of nature offer their help. They are here to help the nature rebuild, right? They strive to bring the harmony back. Okay, so connecting us again, right, to the transformation that happens in the nature, to the nature, and also happens to us. So and then it's, again, I'm not going to read all of these again, right? So it's really Emmanuel bringing the message to us that after all the nature, so the wind plays a part, right? The wind sends light, the sun sends light to dry and to heal. The wind caresses the groves and dry the branches. So each element of nature, it's coming and heals and helps for the benefit of that transformation. So if we bring that to our reality, right? So what would be a storm in our lives, right? Let's translate to the human beings, right? It might be a divorce, might be the loss of a beloved person, right? I may be abandoned by someone who I love in an unexpected way. I may have a cancer, right? That comes, that for me, it's a storm that I'm living, right? And then how am I reacting in those moments of hardship, right? I'm getting stuck at the storm itself, right? Or I'm embracing the hardship. I'm embracing that moment as nature does, right? Am I complaining? I'm blaming. I'm stuck in the problem, or I am adapting and gathering forces to overcome the evil, right? To overcome that moment. So nature has showed us that it has its instinct of reconstruction, right? The nature reconstruct itself. Are we doing the same? This is when hardship comes, when difficult time comes, are we embracing and evolving, right? And adapting to that new situation. And then he invites us to learn to receive the visit of adversity, right? Again, I have an experienced disease, experience a hard moment in life, right? So it's the universe somehow inviting us, right, to look at our lives. Are we blaming or are we acting in that situation? Like, are we receiving adversity, or we are neglecting, or we are somehow expelling it, right? Or not my, why me, right? What did I do to be in this situation? What did I do to have this health problem? Why did I do to have this daughter or son who is addicted to drugs, right? Or I'm learning with that adversity, right? And then I'm educating and redirecting energies of my life that to help me to overcome that. And then it's interesting that I don't know if you heard, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of things that it's about the lotus, right? Because the lotus, the plant, it's a beautiful flower, but the lotus just grow if it's in its environment, the mud is there, right? Surrounded by mud, right? If we think about what on earth would be grow in the middle of the mud, right? The lotus does, right? So there's a lot of books. I read one book called No Mud, No Lotus. And the message of the book is that we don't grow if we don't have our mud, right? So let's reflect a little bit. What is the mud in my life today, right? What is the adversity that could be helping my growth? And then I might be at this point in time neglecting it, pretending that it's not mine, pretending that I don't see it, or blaming someone else for my mud, right? But remember that it's in the mud, it's where the lotus most flourish, right? And let's learn with the lotus. Let's learn with nature again, and yeah, and reflect on that. See it as an opportunity, right? When adversity comes, when hardship comes, what do I need to learn? How do I transform myself? How do I become a better person? Right? And when Paul is an example, right? The transformation of Paul, he was a persecutor of Christians, right? Right, and once he lived all his hardship, he met Jesus in the Damascus road. He went blind. When it was what his mud was a moment of self-transformation when he woke up for life and really was able to transform not only himself but humanity, right? And then again, when touched by the mud, the fountain never gives up, right? It welcomes the debris, right? So the mud comes with the storm, and the fountain welcomes the debris and continue to flow. And that mud will make that water richer. And in the future, there will be more fish in that fountain. And that fountain will be much more beautiful than it was before. Right? So again, the invitation of acceptance. Let's accept our mud. Let's accept the debris. Let's accept things as they come and transform them into blessings, into things that will transform us and bring and move us to a better place. That's why it doesn't mean that it's easy. It will come with pain, right? It will come with sorrow. It will come with a lot of tears. But embracing instead of rebelling, I would say so, is the invitation. The fountain embraces the degree, are embracing our hardship. And we know that we will always have the support from Jesus, from God. We will have a friend that will come and say some words. We'll have books. Sometimes we drive in a place and we see a book, or we passing by the TV and we hear someone saying something. This is the universe. It's God sending us help through the hardship, through the moments. We have our angel, our guardian angels, our mentors. So there is an invisible system and an invisible network that is here to support us through those moments. So the invitation is, let's embrace, right? Let's take it as a transformational moment, a storm in our lives, as a way to make our garden more beautiful at the end of the journey, right? Where beautiful flowers will come, butterflies, birds, trees, fruits, and the support will come along the way. This is the most important message, that the invisible forces, as soon as we embrace the challenge and ask for help, they will be here to help us. And then, as Paul, in the chapter 12, invites us, it's in those moments of hardship are the moments where spreading the good will be the best for us. In the moments of hardship, the moments that we are in our lows, and we believe that there is nowhere else to go, helping the others, serving the others, loving the others, doing something for your community, doing something else for your family. Is together with the help of the invisible, I would say so. It's the way that will help us accelerating the transformation, right? So the service, and then that's what he asks us to spread the love by serving. And by serving, it doesn't mean by only serving, giving food to people or giving clothing to people. It's serving with smile, with words, with love, the ones that surround us. And this will give us a strength to move forward, right? And this is again the invitation that Paul's, if we go back to the beginning, it's when he says that don't be overcome by the evil, but overcome evil with good. So embrace the hard moments, ask for help, spread love, and the transformation will come as a consequence of that. Okay, so with this beautiful message from Emmanuel, I would like to invite all of you to close your eyes. We are going to do the virtual spiritual pass. And try to reflect a little bit on what we learned today, on how we can face the difficult moments, the hardship we live through our lives, in moments of transformation, in moments that will make us better human beings. Let's connect to this energy that is surrounding us. Let's invoke the protection of the good spirits that are present here. Asking them to be with us, not only today, but throughout the rest of the week, the days to come, inspiring us, giving us the strength to transform whatever hardship, whatever difficult moment that's happening in our lives. That we can embrace the challenging moments, that we can learn in those moments, asking for help from the divine, loving oneself, loving the others. And that this energy that we all feel right now starts traveling our body, moving from our head to our toes, doing a circular movement from head to toe, a couple of times, head to toe. And this light starts touching our Mother Earth. And this light starts spreading to our homes, to our neighborhoods, to our planet. May this light touch every single being in the planet that needs help. They are facing difficult moments. May this light give the strength they need to transform themselves and their lives. May this light protect our homes, our home. May this light magnetize our water, our body, strengthening and empowering each one of us to own our destiny, to face our challenges, and to regenerate our lives as nature, as our Mother Nature does every day, every season, every year.